Hello, everybody. Welcome. My name is Janine Deutsch, and I am with FSI Office. And today we are doing the third series of our webinar. The first one we started with was organizing your home and creating a peaceful work environment while you're working from home. The second one was creating those boundaries in your home. I'm so sorry, I had a slow connection. Hopefully that's not interrupting anything. And then today we're going to talk about our third webinar series. So let's go ahead and move this over. I'm going to go ahead and dial in just in case someone does not have sound. We have not had that issue yet. And this is our third one, so let's see what happens. And I'm going to leave this up for just a little bit because I see more people joining. I still have some more people joining.
Until another person joins.
Okay, I think we have just about everybody. I'm going to go ahead and get started. If you have any questions, please feel free to type them in the question section over there, and I'll be happy to answer them at the end. My name is Janine Deutsch, and that is my phone number and email right there on the screen. If you do have any other questions, if there's something that is bothering you or something that you don't know what to do at home, please feel free to email me or call me. I'm happy to answer any questions. I went to school for education, and now I am working in the business world, doing a lot of webinars and trainings and different things like that. So I'm happy to help any way that I can. All right, so I am going to go ahead and start our little presentation. So today we're going to talk about family time. And basically, a lot of you are probably doing a lot of family time because you're quarantined together. And I am going to show you some little tricks or some things that you can do, give you some ideas, help you out a little bit on how to create that perfect family time at home. After your day is complete, you want to be sure to do something fun with your child. It does not have to be a 2-hour fun session. It can be 10 minutes. It can be a walk. But as long as it's not for work or work related, because that's going to be your whole day, and you want to make sure you put that aside and spend time with your child and focus on your child. Now, if you're going out for a walk and you notice something that you've been studying, that's great. That's wonderful. Just don't make the whole thing about school. So we want to talk about physical activity today, our educational activities, creating some creative activities, and then we're going to think outside the box. I'm going to tell you some things that are fun to do that you probably wouldn't normally do at home. So the purpose of physical activity is exercise and physical activity provide both mental and physical health benefits. And we really want that right now. You know, everyone's scared because those who have pre-existing conditions are not very healthy, are worried about this COVID-19 virus, and we want to make sure that our bodies are as healthy as can be right now. And so physical activity is going to help with that. Don't put your well-being aside just because your gym closed or the activity center closed or the playground closed. The park is still open, but maybe the playground isn't open. So think about those kinds of things. Enjoy activities that get the whole family moving. So let's talk about some of those physical activities. Go for a walk or a bike ride. I'm sure you've probably done that a million times already. You may be tired of it, but if you haven't, that's the easiest and simplest thing to do. I know some of you may have older kids, or maybe some special needs kids. I have a 9-year-old. If you haven't been on my sessions yet, you don't know that. And I have a 9-year-old. And sometimes it's fun just to play the good old Let's Duck Goose and Hide and Seek game. And older kids can actually get involved with that, and it's kind of fun, especially if you have older and younger kids. Stream some family-friendly workouts. So here's some ideas. So activekids.com, they have some backyard circuit activities that you can create and do. And then Fitness Blinders Kids, they have a little video that it's really all kid oriented, but you can do the workouts with them. And then Pop Sugar Fitness has a really cute YouTube video that's for the whole family. So those are some activities and places that you might be able to find some family-friendly workouts. Take a hike in your local park when the playgrounds may be closed, but parks are generally open. Rollerblading, roller skating, these are all probably some things that you may have done already. Or go on a scavenger hunt. So you can do this inside or outside. So here's my little creative idea for the scavenger hunt. If you have old pictures of yourself as a child, put those in an envelope and put them around the house, and then create a scavenger hunt to help your kids go find those envelopes. When they do, open them up, and then you can talk about whatever it was, that picture, when that picture was taken, where you were, how you were feeling at that time, your age, all those wonderful things. Because right now, our children sometimes look at us like, we've never had a childhood. What are you talking about? You couldn't possibly imagine how I feel right now. I miss my friends. And kids don't understand that we were children too. And if you take this scavenger hunt and you do that, your kids then can open up a little more about how they're feeling and what their emotions are at this time. So that would be a really good idea to incorporate that with your children and how they're feeling. Play freeze dance with everyone's favorite music. And then keep the house tidy by playing the cleanup game. If you've been with me before, you know that we had a game called the cleanup game where you have to time and see who can get things put away first. And it's a great way to get those kids involved with cleaning up. And especially being as everyone's home, the house seems to be a little bit more a mess, I'm sure, and that was hard. So let's talk about some educational activities. So you can take a virtual field trip to a zoo or a museum or aquarium. Many zoos and museums and aquariums have now opened up virtually, if you didn't know that, and you can go to pretty much any one of them and take those trips. Visit famous landmarks through books or websites. Also, Google Maps. So if you do Google or Google Earth, if you do Google Earth, you can actually go onto the street and kind of go up in and about places and see different places through Google Earth. That kind of fun. You can do that if you have a childhood home. I did that with my daughter, and I showed her where I used to live, my childhood home. Learn about healthy eating and test out those new recipes. I know a lot of us are probably eating a lot right now, and you may not want to do that. That's okay. But if you're not, and you just want to test something new, it's great class. It's a good way to get your picky children to try something new, especially if you're doing it together. Put together puzzles and word searches and Sudoku and different things like that. Learn a new language. So you can do that online, you can do it with a book. I particularly am drawn to sign language, and so I have many sign language books. Many years ago, I bought them. I have taught myself sign language from there. I actually work FSI employees, deaf employees, and I speak with them at work. But my daughter has been learning as well, and my husband, believe it or not. So that's kind of fun. You can do it with just your spouse if you want to. Whole family trivia night. So this is fun because you learn something new too. You get online, you research things, you figure out what the answers are, and then you can have a trivia night. Read a book. I'm going to talk about a book club in a little bit about creative ideas, but just basic reading of a book. When's the last time many of us have read a book? I mean, your children do it all the time because they're in school. But during quarantine, I have now read 2 books and I'm halfway through my third. And it's been so enjoyable. We're talking about, we're going to talk about me time next week. And I'll show you how to fit in reading a book by yourself without being bothered, if that's an issue. Do some scientific experiments. And this could be part of like what they're learning in school, but it could also be something totally different. Write a short story. When's the last time you took pen and paper and just started writing? It's been a long time. Most of us are on computers. So just tell your child to write a short story. One thing that our teacher has our children doing every week is journaling, which they do anyway, but they're specifically journaling about this situation and this time, how they're feeling, what they're frustrated about. And that would be a great thing to do for your child and say, I want you to journal about this, how you're feeling, what you're doing, and then let's talk about it. And if they don't want to talk about it, that's okay too, but at least they're getting it out of themselves and onto that paper. So let's talk about some creative activities. So you can create a physical family tree with photos. Go back into your photo books and pull out photos of your parents and grandparents and cousins and uncles and all that great stuff and create a giant family tree with photos. It'll kind of help reinforce that idea that I was a child once too, and your children will help see that. Have modeling clay or Play-Doh competitions. So my daughter, I don't want her to Zoom with her friends without having something to Zoom about. You know what happens with kids, they sit and then they start talking and just bringing gossip or things they don't need to talk about. So we have created some great little competitions between her and her friends and making Play-Doh things. And the moms will then get on and judge and see who won. So that could be Legos, whatever your kids are doing. My child just happens to like Play-Doh. But it could be Legos or things with their dollies or whatever it might be. For the older ones, it might be like true massive competitions building. Like if your child likes to work with wood, have him and a friend have a competition. Her and a friend have a competition. So again, building blocks, magnetic tiles can do these activities with anything. Create a family fort. No matter how old your child is, forts are fun. I think they're fun. A lot of adults think they're fun. If you have older children, you might want to step it up a notch and have a competition whose fort is better. If you only have one older child, you might want to, again, just still step it up a notch and create a fort that you can actually walk into versus crawl into, using the furniture around the house and different things that you make. Learn how to crochet or sew or something else that they have been wanting to do and you have been wanting to do. Paint pictures or a room or a new object. You might be good with wood, you might be building things, you might have an old piece of furniture that you wanted to repaint. This weekend, my daughter, husband, and I have finally painted the she shed. And I'm sure you've all seen that meme on Facebook. Gentlemen, this is the time. It's time to build your wife that she shed. And my husband actually has built me a she shed. I think it's been about 3 years now. But we are finally getting to finishing it. We've been so busy, we haven't been able to do anything. So this past weekend, we painted, and now we just need to do the carpeting or the flooring, and we're just about done. Play games that require acting, like charades or improvisation. These are some fun things too that also help those children get out their feelings and emotions. So you can think outside the box in that way. So let's talk about thinking outside the box as far as games or things to do. Have a costume night. I know Halloween is far away, but I'm sure that y'all can think of something that you can all dress up as, and then take a picture of all of you, and then post it on Facebook or Instagram or wherever, and just have some fun like that. Throw an indoor picnic. This is kind of fun, and I'm talking the whole thing, the basket, the food, sitting on the ground, forget the table. You can even pick this underneath the table if you wanted to. Create a restaurant or for dinner. Basically, I saw this on Facebook, I'm stealing this one. we were watching something, and the little boys had said, I really, really want to go to a real restaurant. And the parents were like, you know what, let's create that for them. And they created a restaurant, and they named it, and they had menus and the different choices of dinner that they can have. And it was really sweet. And I think the boys really, you could see at the end, really enjoyed it. Plant an inside garden. If you have a little piece of furniture or a wooden table or something you could put in front of a window, my window's right over here, that's a great idea. Just go ahead and get the seeds. It's that time of the year. The seeds are all here. Everybody's ready. Just do it inside with them. Make homemade cards. So my birthday was this month, and my husband did not want to go out and touch the cards because you know that everybody is touching cards and then putting them back, touching them and then putting them back. So he and my daughter made homemade cards, and they meant so much to me because they were about what I love. And on top of that, the wording inside was a little hint as to what my present was. So that was kind of fun. Karaoke night, that's always fun. Invent your own board game. I thought about this because when my daughter was younger, we created our own language, and we would walk around the store and she'd say, can we talk in our language? And we would pretend that we were talking in different languages. So that was fun for her. Plan your next trip. I know many of you are tired of being home, and you just want to think about your future trip or the beach or the mountains, wherever it is that you want to go. Plan it. There's nothing wrong with planning it. You may not know when it's going to happen because, we're not sure how long we're going to be inside, but at least plan the trip and get it started. Make a time capsule about this time. When we were in school every year, when I was teaching, we did a time capsule about the year. So this would be a great time to make a time capsule, have your children write things down, put in pictures of your house, how you were quarantined, maybe if you did something fun at your house, put that in there. That's always a great thing to do, time capsules. And then bury it and then decide on a time to bring it back up. Write a letter to a friend, again, that's pen and paper. Learn origami or make rock art. Do family pictures. Literally get dressed up like you would if you were going to say, have someone take your picture and either go outside or do it in your house and take different pictures of each other. And all together, if you have a camera that is on a timer, you can do that as well. Join a book club or create a family book club. Get a book that you all love and read it together. It also helps you get through your me time. And then come back and discuss it and talk about it. Interview your family. Create a little interview session. Write down all the little things that you want to ask each other and then interview each other. And then bird watching. I thought about this because the other day my daughter was looking at the window. She said, look, Mom, a cardinal. Oh, look, and there's a blue jay. And she started naming all these birds. And I thought, how do you know what these are? So we just started bird watching together, and it's been so fun. So I want to know, hopefully these ideas were good for you, and you like some of them, and you can think of some of them right now. What are some of the things, if you don't mind sharing with me, what are some of the things that you and your family have been doing? Maybe it will help. I don't know if anybody's going to pop on here. Go ahead and type it in the question section. Anybody willing to share? I don't see anything yet. I don't think anybody's wanting to share, and that's okay. That's all right if you don't want to share. But hopefully these ideas have been something that will help you and your family to spend some family time together. It's so important that your children know that you are there for them right now. That's the key. And that life is not about work, and life is not about school. It's about the people around you and what you do together and how you spend this time together. So hopefully you enjoyed this third presentation. The next one is about finding me time and how to make that happen and what me time can look like in a quarantine space. So I thank you so much for joining me today, and I hope that you all have a wonderful rest of your week.